My name is Amelia. I am a 30-year-old office worker. After college, I obtained a position at a public corporation and have worked extremely hard there. The people around me inspire me to work hard in my career. Harper, my junior high school classmate, is the most significant to me. Harper and I were members of the same badminton club in junior high. We were really close friends, yet we also competed with one another. We were opponents who worked together to achieve success. We would always stay late at club practices to work out together. Before the test, we studied together and competed for the highest score. We attended the same high school and university. We were always together, engaging in friendly competition. He was a close friend who had a big influence on my life. Even after I started working, I maintained contact with Lena. We would keep each other updated on what was going on and encourage each other to work harder. Lena traveled to Japan alone after graduating from university to study abroad. After that, she found a job with a local corporation. She had dreamed of living abroad since she was a child. I believe it's incredible that Lena was able to realize her ambition. She told me that if I pursue my dreams, a route will always open up for me. When I called her and asked about her life overseas, I could see she was really happy and joyful. It inspires me to pursue my own ideals. There is another person who has had a significant impact on my life. You are my husband, Harper. I met him when I was 24. I met him during a blind date. He was a few years older than me and worked for a large corporation. He appears to be a generous person. He seemed to be interested in me too. Our relationship began after a series of dates, and after a year of dating, we were married. I agreed to marry my husband because of his kindness. I was stuck at work while my husband and I were dating. I wasn't sure if I was heading in the correct direction. Everything I tried wasn't working. I was receiving no results at all. When I started at the company, my manager had high expectations of me. I was impatient with the lack of results. My husband, with whom I was in a relationship, helped me maintain my composure. It's okay. You don't have to behave like an honor student right now. For the first 5 years of your job, simply use your youth as a weapon and attempt to do whatever you want. It's better to be selfish and do what you want. Seniors and supervisors would feel less awful about cleaning up after a rookie made a mistake. It's not a terrible sensation, so do not strive to fit in. Just do whatever you want. I am not a senior or a boss at the same company as you, so it could be a little irresponsible of me to say that. When he supported me like that, I was finally able to rest. As a result, I've been able to go to work in a much more calm mood. He appears pleased to see me enjoying my work every day, so I chose to marry him. With him, I thought we could conquer anything and be happy. I was persuaded of it. After we got married, my husband was also quite kind. Whenever I had a hurdle at work, he would speak kindly to me and support me. So no matter how many times I felt like my heart was about to break, I was able to put my all into my work without giving up. My dearest buddy and husband have supported me throughout my life. My hard work just paid off as I was promoted to a higher position. I was so pleased that I told my husband when I came home, "Harper, I did it. What's the matter? You're very excited. I'll be a section chief starting this spring." "Oh, seriously? I feel like all of my efforts are finally being recognized." "I see. Congratulations." "Thank you. I purchased some steak to celebrate. So let us have a wonderful meal today." I was overjoyed and effervescent about my promotion. I didn't immediately notice the change in my husband. However, his attitude gradually altered. He became increasingly unfriendly. "I'm home. Welcome home. Don't you get home late these days?" "I apologize. I was reviewing the document that my subordinate had prepared. I am a little late." "Hurry up and prepare my dinner." "Of course." My husband used to do the housework when he could, but now that he gets home earlier than I do, he no longer performs any of the tasks. On the contrary, he sometimes talks down to me. "Why do you always arrive home so late?" "No, it's because my responsibilities and workload have grown since becoming a section chief." That is not an excuse. Some people arrive home on time, even if they hold a higher job. "Amelia, you're not very good at what you do. It takes a long time and you must work overtime." "That may be true, but I am doing my best. Anyway, do not work overtime. That causes you to disregard your chores. I can't concentrate on my work if you keep behaving like that." "I apologize. My spouse has never talked to me like this before." I was perplexed. I had no notion I was causing him any inconvenience by working late. I still respected and adored my husband at the moment. At this point, I couldn't tell if he was saying these things to me out of envy. Even so, I was still extremely busy at work. It was not about my ability or anything like that. But every time I came home late, my dad became angry. Why can't you strike a better balance between housework and work? How can you be a section chief if you are unable to multitask? Such criticism caused me to progressively lose trust in myself. It was only natural that I contacted my best friend Lena. Hello, Amelia, Lena. How are you? Has something happened? You know, Amelia, it seems that whenever you inquire about my well-being, it is you who is perpetually experiencing illness. Lena understands me the best. I began to cry and I informed her of my current position. My husband is quite harsh on me and often belittles me. I have to do all of the housework myself, which is physically taxing for me. Lena simply listened to me and supported me. Despite our distance, I know you are always giving your all. I know you're working hard somewhere, and that motivates me to work harder. Furthermore, your promotion to section head was the result of your hard work. I'm confident that the results are the best confirmation of that. Do you think so? And the sudden shift in your husband's attitude could be due to jealousy. What? Jealousy? Is my husband jealous of me? Is he in a position higher than section chief at his workplace? Oh no, he does not. I knew it. However, he works for a large firm. I don't believe he would be jealous of me. I believe that men are sensitive to job advancement, regardless of the size of the firm. That's why he was so disappointed that you, who are younger than him, were promoted first. Oh no, if this is the case, what should I do? It is challenging. Like you, I am a career woman. Perhaps you should wait for your husband's promotion as well. Then I'll need to be patient. You are correct and I apologize. Yes, I'm sorry, but you don't need to worry. No, but I'm trying to come up with the right solution for you. It's okay. I feel so much better just being able to speak with you like this. May I call you again? Maybe we can discuss some foolish, pointless issue next time. Great, let's do it. Please let me know whenever you like to call. After calling Lena, I felt like I was breaking free from all of the negative emotions I had been experiencing, as well as the possibility that my husband was jealous of me. Lena's statements made me realize that I shouldn't have said how busy I was at work. Despite my efforts, my husband's attitude toward me deteriorated with time. In the worst cases, he even restricted my activities. He entered my room when I was talking on the phone with Lena on my day off. He abruptly hung up with Lena. What are you doing now? What are you doing now? Are you interacting on my day off? I wasn't so loud that I disturbed you, was I? Don't speak back to me. You are the one who does whatever you want and skips chores. You are the one who behaves badly as a wife. You are the one who spends most of your time lounging on the living room couch. Why should I be the one to accept the blame? Housework is a wife's responsibility. The person who can't do her work well is blamed. Why do you always gaze down at me like that? We're husband and wife. We should be equal. What? Are you really saying that? Are you and I equal? Wake up and stop saying such things when you're awake. Anyway, you better be a better wife or I'll divorce you. Divorce? I am serious. If you don't want to get divorced, you need to get your head out of the clouds and reconsider your actions. With that, my spouse left my room. I watched his back in a stupor. I quickly texted Lena to apologize for the phone's abrupt disconnection. Lena heard my husband yell a little. Are you okay? She was concerned about me. When I told her what my husband had just stated, she was astonished. His jealousy is spiraling out of control. It's hard to imagine he'd say something so nonchalantly about divorce. Lena answered in that manner, and I thought the same thing. My affection for my husband had all but vanished by this point. And then something happened that instantly drained all of my barely surviving affection. One day, Lena informed me that she was getting married. I was pleased to learn that my dearest buddy was getting married. A bit later, I received an invitation to the wedding. The wedding would be held in Japan, where Lena lived. Of course, I was planning to go. I had requested time off from work in advance for that day, but I couldn't inform my spouse. I was sure he'd disagree, but I'd already booked the flights. I felt it was time to tell him. I decided to inform my husband that I was traveling to Japan to attend Lena's wedding. Sure enough, my husband was adamantly against it. Do not be silly. You can't even do your housework properly, and you're planning to travel abroad. It does not involve travel. I'm attending my best friend's wedding. I don't mind which one. I will not allow you. You are my wife, so you should stay at home. Otherwise, I'll divorce you. Why are you so fast to claim you're going to divorce me? Just because I am your wife does not mean I can't leave the house. Just because I am your wife does not mean I have to do all of the housework. Besides, I'll be returning home straight after the wedding. You'll be alone for only a few days. I plainly stated that you could not go. No matter how you attempt to persuade me, can't you just be a bit decent? My husband was furious and withdrew to his room. At the time, I realized I couldn't live with him. From then on, I obeyed my husband to avoid provoking him. I was able to survive until I went to the wedding. I sent my wedding luggage to my parents' residence. On the day I left for overseas, I stopped by my parents' house before heading to the airport. The scheme appeared to be successful, and my spouse was unaware. I landed safely in Japan. When I landed at the airport in Japan, I received numerous messages from my husband. Then, as soon as he noticed I had read the messages, he called. "Hey, where are you walking around without returning home so late?" "Well, I'm in Japan." "What? I told you so. I'm heading to Japan today for my best friend's wedding. I told you I wouldn't allow you. I do not need your consent. I'm going to divorce you if you keep acting like this." I was going to say that I was tired of such treats, but Lena arrived at the airport to pick me up. I told my spouse I needed to go and hung up the phone. After that, I turned off my husband's message and was relieved to see my closest buddy again for the first time in a long time. Lena toured me around and we ate supper together. The following day, I attended Lena's wedding. Lena was stunning, graceful, and radiant beyond words. I was happy on my journey back to the US and thought it was a beautiful wedding. But on my drive home from the airport, I began to feel gloomy. First, I had to confront that man. I hated it so badly, but I opened the door to my residence with all my strength. However, my spouse was still not home. He should have arrived home about this time. I entered the living room feeling relieved. However, I was surprised to see anything on the table. It was the divorce paperwork. My husband's part was already filled in, so my husband must be threatening me in this way. Perhaps he genuinely wants to divorce me. In any case, the outcome was favorable to me. So I picked up the divorce papers, grabbed my things, and left the house. Then I got in my car and drove to my folks' place. My folks were startled when I arrived home with a large suitcase of belongings, but they heard what transpired and advised me to get a divorce. My parents filled out the witness paperwork and I did my part, and I went to the municipal office to file my divorce papers. I was relaxing at home for the first time in a long time when my spouse called me the next night. I was astonished because I expected him to contact me the day before. Anyway, I chose to answer the phone. Then my spouse began speaking to me in a superior tone, as if he were smiling broadly. "Were you surprised? You found the divorce papers on the table. I've been staying at my folks' place since yesterday. I won't leave until you pay me a visit and apologize." "I see. So that's what this is about. Then you don't have to return." "Huh, I have nothing to apologize for." "Huh? Are you still acting that way after all this time?" "That is enough. I am seriously divorcing you." "We're already divorced." "What? I'm delighted you have already signed the paper. I was thinking about leaving you when I got back. So you and I are now strangers." Wait a minute. Wait a minute. You are kidding, right? Of course not. In the first place, you placed the divorce papers there. Oh no, it was only a threat. Give me a break. Do you think frightening me like that will make me more obedient? I am the one who needs a break. Why do I have to be abused every day only to please your small ego and low self-esteem? You are so immature as to continually make comments that irritate me simply because you are disappointed that I was promoted before you. I had no clue you were such a short man. Shut up. Don't try to boss me about just because you were somewhat promoted ahead of me. I'm not bossing you about it. I am only telling you the truth. You thought I was inferior to you when we first married and were dating, so you could treat me nicely. And you felt it was wonderful that you were offering me sound counsel. You were so pleased with yourself back then. But in truth, you are a jealous and arrogant person. You probably hadn't even realized it. Good for you. Because of me, you are aware of your weaknesses. You are mocking me, right? Are we finished? It is too much trouble. I'm hanging up. I don't have time to waste a phone call with a stranger by getting into an unnecessary fight. Unlike you, I hold a high-level position at work and am very busy. I said that, then hung up the phone. My ex-husband is undoubtedly enraged right now. I've never tried to feel superior by gloating about my position, but my ex-husband has told me some really horrible things. That's why I ventured to say something to my ex-husband that would get him upset. After that, according to a mutual acquaintance, my ex-husband was furious with me. I intend to remarry a more beautiful woman and prioritize my happiness. He was so determined that he began using a dating app. However, the gorgeous woman he met and went out with turned out to be a marriage swindler, and he lost all of his money. She seized all of his savings, which totaled several $1,000,000, in one fell swoop. As expected, the episode left my ex-husband mentally weary. He no longer believes in himself and appears to be in a dismal mood all the time. People have been leaving him. He's got it coming. It was a terrific opportunity for me to watch what occurs when individuals lose their calm. Meanwhile, I've been working harder and harder. Now that I'm an adult, I'm in charge of several large initiatives. Lena and I are still in touch. I informed her that I was planning to take a long trip to see her in Japan. Until then, I will work hard and do my best to show her how much I have matured. Aren't jealous men so lame? It's also ridiculous that he believes he can force her to obey him by waving divorce papers at her. In other words, Amelia's spouse is very lame. It's a good thing she left such a pathetic man. Amelia has enough money to live on her own. Next time, please look for a man with no worthless ego.